I'm here with the legendary guitarist, Carlos Lomas.
Legendary, huh?
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
When you were in Spain, you taught many people. Who do you consider your legacy in Spain?
Well, Tomasito.
Tomasito.
Oh yeah, I spent, oh my God, just hours. We were like either older brother or uncle or something like that. It was like family. You know, we have a whole.
The Tomatito.
Yeah, yeah. I told him, when he suggested that should be his artistic name, I said no. Because his name is Pepe. I always call him Pepito, Pepe. You Google Carlos Lomas and it tells you.
Google Carlos on
Where?
The internet. And this thing will come up, Guitar on the Edge, from London, and it's a biography of me.
Okay.
Yeah, and that just says it better than me trying to repeat it here, so. Sometimes he might do something that's startling, rocks the boat. Then you start getting used to it after a while. He knows, I mean, this just like, nobody did this. Before Paco.
Oh, really?
They would have gone.
Right.
But this sound.
The dissonance.
Oh, yeah. And this one. These are new flamenco keys that he invented. He's just unbelievable. Like what Sabicas said just before he died. He said, there are no maestros. You have to be your own maestro. Go within yourself and do the best you can. That's what Sabicas said. And I had met him and been with him on many occasions, and sometimes he played a guitar that I had at the time, and wow. Paco too. I know Paco personally also. But in the case of Sabicas like that, I think he was so sick and tired of being called maestro by everybody. That's why he said that.
Oh, yeah.
There are no maestros.
Yeah.
Control yourself.
Thank you, Maestro.
Luis Vargas. That's the guy that did that. Even Paco de Lucía was caught doing that one day. Control yourself.
I really like the old style flamenco playing that you represent. The new modern jazz stuff. I mean,
I used to be a jazz musician before I was a flamenco guitarist, and I had no interest in going the jazz way on flamenco guitar. If anything, I went backwards. I wanted to see. That's why I got involved in the oud, Middle Eastern music, and also music from India, all of that, because the roots of flamenco are from there. And I was very curious about, of course, the old masters, Ramon Montoya, Nino Ricardo, Sabicas, Manolo, well, it goes on and on. Diego Lagastor. I mean, there's so much.
Yeah, and your own wife is from India.
My own wife?
Your own wife.
I have a wife.
My
own wife.
Can be traced back to India. Yeah.
Yeah.
The gypsies. These days. I mean, you were trained in the old school, and when I hear you play, I'm just delighted because it's I love the old school flamenco rather than the new modern jazz.
You told me that. You told me that. And then one day on the phone we were talking about this, and because of the iPod that Paul Gammon, my friend up in Salt Lake City, had sent me with a flamenco collection on it, I was able to immediately go right to something off of Paco de Lucia's first solo album when he was only 18, around there, and played that over the for you, and right away you responded to that and you liked Paco because he had already created his own way, his own style, no question about it, but it was still strongly part of the tradition. You weren't hearing these jazz influences.
Yeah.
And there's all this controversy for years about Paco. I always defend Paco. I think he's the finest flamenco guitarist that's ever lived. He surpassed everybody. He learned from everybody. Yeah. And he just did everything. And he's an incredible person too. He's wonderful. heard all that?
Yeah.
Like what Sabicas said just before he died. He said, there are no maestros. You have to be your own maestro. Go within yourself and do the best you can. That's what Sabicas said. And I had met him and been with him on many occasions, and sometimes he played a guitar that I had at the time, and wow. Paco too. I know Paco personally also. But in the case of Sabicas like that, I think he was so sick and tired of being called maestro by everybody. That's why he said that.
Oh, yeah.
There are no maestros.
Yeah. He was truly humble.
Yeah. He was wonderful. He inspired Paco. But so did, my goodness, Nino Ricardo, through his, Paco's brother Ramon. Paco's older brother, who passed away recently, was a tremendous, he taught Paco Nino Ricardo's school of playing, which is different than Sabicas. So I mean, that's what Paco did. He learned Ramon Montoya, Sabicas, Nino Ricardo, everybody. I wouldn't say that he did much with the school that came from Moron. That's a grassroots way of playing. That's pure flamenco, no question about it. But it's not based on the evolution of technique in the sense that Ramon it was Ramon Montoya who was the first to employ this finger. Up until that point, flamenco guitarists were using the thumb, the first finger, and the second finger. They weren't using this.
No, like lute players.
Probably more like the lute, yeah. And Ramon Montoya incorporated classical guitar techniques and incorporated them, and was incredibly creative. He's considered in the history of it all as like being the grandfather today.